Welcome to the EM Festival weekend. So I'm going to briefly pass you over to Jean. Jean's a sales director for EM over in France and looks after all of the world, and he's going to tell you a bit more about EM, and then we'll dive into some details on the bikes, followed by some demo rides by our new signed rider, which we'll tell you a bit more about as well.
Just a bit of history. Our goal was to make a bike that was good for the beginner and for the good one for the athletes. We started with like a bike that was not that sexy, yeah. I always say that with the EM 5.7 or the EM Sports, like the frame was quite big. But we had to start somewhere, make some competition, won in some competition with Bastien back in 2014, category S2, National Trial Championship in France. So starting to get some results, because it was quite hard at the start, because a lot of people were laughing at us. What is that? Hey, don't forget to charge the bike, do you have the cable? In 2019, we released the new generation with the Epure, the sexier bike, yeah, with a itty bitty waist, better frame, a proper clutch. We had like Gaël Chatagnon and started to get some results, but without forgetting like that our goal is not to put like EM is not ready to race, it's explore the silence, but we want to have a bike that is good, again, that you can share if you are a good trial rider with your wife, with your kid, with all the system, with the mats and everything. It was very important. Gaël did some crazy results in category S1 in France, National Trial Championship, the SSDT, obviously, thanks to Matthew and his team. It was an amazing experience. And we just prove and show that we can make it. Just finished doing great results. That's one thing, but we finished it. And now we are again back thanks to one of the legends in the trial world. There is Marc Colomé, world trial champion in 1996. It's been 2.5 years. He joined us, like 3 years, and he was walking secretly in his mountain in Catalonia on those bikes and the gearbox. With our engineers, because our goal is still to go to the top, and we can say that one day you're gonna see this bike in Trial GP and we will win. And just to finish, we are so happy now also to have someone like another legend in trial, younger than Marc, but Jeroni Fajardo.
Really happy to be here to join this family, Electric Motion. I'm really impressed of the performance that this bike is able to deliver, and well, it's for sure plenty of progress, plenty of development to do it. I see how quick everything evolved in this kind of motorbikes. 10 years ago, nobody would believe that today Gaël or even me or a good rider can make such big things with an electric bike. Before we were looking at electric bikes as a toy, you know, for kids, and now is a real machine. So I think we are in the right path. I will try to help them as much as I can, and we have a bright future, I think.
So basically the new motor is far lighter, the most power we've ever had. So it's about 60% more power, but the power delivery is super soft and smooth at the bottom end, and then revs out harder at the top end. So it'll rev out to about 14,000 RPM. If I was comparing it back to the old previous Epure Race, the peak power was 11 kilowatts and this is 16 kilowatts. So a big difference for a far smaller unit that revs a lot harder. Very cleverly, the centre of mass is very, very central. It's around 4-5 kilograms lighter than the previous model, depending on the battery size. Comes in two versions. We've got 1.8 kilowatt hour, which is similar range to the previous Epure Race, or you've got a 2.5 kilowatt hour, which is about 30% more range. You can't tell an awful lot between the two when you're riding. You've got brand new clamps, tech rear shot, and then all the best components, brake tech brakes, Michelin tyres, tech forks. We've got new TFT display, so that shows you what the battery is at, what map it's in, what speed it's going at, and then obviously you've got the EM Connect app. Now with EM Connect, an app on your phone, and you can adjust the free maps exactly as you want it. For me personally, I've got map 1 set up for streams, nice and smooth power, map 2 for like double blips, and then map 3 for big rock steps. It may be that you're sharing the bike with somebody else, so you know, you might have map 1 for someone who's not done very much at all, turn the power right down, restrict the speed, could even turn the tick over off so it's like a rev and go, and then you could have map 2 and 3 for yourself. Now with the gearbox, you don't have to be up and down the gears, you know, like you do with a combustion engine because of how linear the power delivery is and how much torque it's got. Second gear is good for most sections. When we rode the trial the other night, I was in second for every section. First gear is good for real tight technical stuff, and then third gear is good for like hill climbs or crossing a moor, that sort of thing, and fourth for the road. So when we come to the Scottish 6-day trial again, it'll be fantastic because, you know, we can be doing 50 mile an hour down the road and hardly any revs, you know, and even your petrol bikes can only sustain about 35, 40 mile an hour because, you know, if two-stroke will nip up if you're going for a long time, much more than that. So hopefully we should be flying past them. But yeah, in the sections, it is phenomenal. The grip on an EM previously was fantastic, but now with the gearbox, because the wheel speed is slower, the grip's even better again. That combined with the frame, when you're riding up a stream, it goes exactly where you want it to go. You know, some bikes can be quite nervous and you'll be wanting to go there, but you end up heading over there. With this, it'll go exactly where you want it to go. So it really does raise your riding level. You know, if you're riding typically here, you're like almost instantly there on a confidence level and a skill level as well. So these are the two models for 2025. Exactly the same powertrain, same battery, same motor, frame, suspension, everything. The only difference is the Epure Race doesn't have the gearbox. And the gear ratio is like being in third gear on the Epure Factory. So, you know, if you're thinking, oh, I don't think I need the gears, then the Epure Race is the one to go for. They're very much on par with sort of two-stroke weight, but in my opinion, they feel a lot lighter just because of how well balanced and how the weight distribution and everything is. And the mass is always the same. It's not like as your fuel goes down, it's getting lighter and then changing. It's always the same. And that was something interesting Jeroni said yesterday. He was saying that when he's on the back wheel on the two-stroke, it's getting richer and richer, you know, all the time. He said, whereas this is always the same, it's always consistent. So it's another plus. The only difference with the Epure Race to the Epure Factory is it doesn't come standard with EM Connect, but it's available as an option. Last year the Epure Race was 9,799, and this year the Epure Race with the big battery is 8,999. So EM have done incredibly well to reduce the cost of production a little bit with the new motor, even though it's way better, and they've kindly passed it on to the customers. And the Epure Factory with the standard battery is 9,299, and with the big battery is 9,899. You know, the best price point for the best bike we've ever had, which I think's fantastic. So say for example with the previous Epure Race, it's the same range as that, and if I did a club trial, say like a Darwin club trial on the expert course, I would expect to finish between 45 to 65% left, using the regen brake in between the sections, which is available as an optional extra. It's like it's called the PRBR. Obviously if you get the big battery and you're doing a big road trial and stuff, then same again, you haven't got that worry. A lot of people, you know, I've some customers that say they'll get two or 3 days out of a battery, even on the Epure Race. Others, depending on the riding level, what they're doing, there's so many variables. But yeah, for me, I'd personally always just ride with the big battery now and with the factory, and you're sorted. I mean, I think I didn't even look at the battery the other night when I finished the trial, but I would imagine it would be at least 70% left.